Hi, have you talked to your children about sex? You had me right. Have you talked to your children about sex? From ages 4, perhaps, and children, yes, children, have your parents discussed and talked about sex with you? My name is Grace Bukachi, and you're watching CITAM Church Online. As a pastor, I interact with all age groups, and one of the age groups I interact with closely and a lot is young adults. And so I had this story of how this med students in their first year had to go to be prepared on how to know the body parts. And there was a female cadaver that they had to use, and they were being taught from the toe, up the leg, up to the thigh, and to the body parts. And the students shared with me that they noticed that some of the male students were getting, allow me to use these words, a hard on, and they were really shocked. And so the students came back to me and said, in our time of fellowship, Pastor, how do we survive this? And I said, have you discussed sex with your parents? Or who first talked to you about sex? The gender, the different organ parts. Parents, we need to have this discussion. Yes, it's not comfortable, but it is important to have it. So parents, yeah, you know one of my favorite verses, train up a child in the way they should go, Proverbs 22 verse 6. That also is part of the training. Let them know. James Dobson says this, that giving a child facts about reproduction, including details about intercourse, does not rob him of innocence. I'll repeat. Giving a child facts about reproduction, including details about intercourse, does not rob him of innocence. This first year students in med school or whatever campus they are in, they are facing different genders. Now, it's been lockdown season in many countries. In Nairobi, we've been through this. We're really looking forward for the lift up to happen. So parents, you have a few days, today's Saturday, in case the lockdown is lifted on Monday, yay. What's gonna happen to your children? One, parents, let's deal with our own insecurities. Because if you're going to have this discussion and you've not dealt with your own personal insecurities, this discussion won't go on well. So, how early do you start this discussion? Yikes! I get that question a lot as a pastor. When do I start discussing? I say, as soon as that child asks, how did the baby? Why is Auntie so-and-so having a big stomach? It's not the time to tell them about a bird and some funny story. Sit that child down in a comfortable environment and tell them, say to them, Auntie so-and-so is going to have a baby. If they should ask, how did that baby get there? That's your opportune time, yes, to have this discussion and say, Auntie so-and-so and uncle, they love each other. Their susus are different, and God made them that way. So when Uncle Susu gets into Auntie Susu, then a baby is formed. Now, some details need to be, you need to know whether this child is ready for it. So at 4, that might be too much information, but please, from age 6, wake up. If that child is already going to kindergarten, allow me to say this, they know that the boys have different susus from themselves if they are girls. And if they are boys, they know that the girls have different, because they peep at each other. In fact, they show each other, see my pee-pee, see my pee-pee. Yes, I can see you laughing. They already have that conversation. So, this is what James Dobson says. The best place for a child to learn about sexuality is at home from those who care most about him. The best place for a child to learn about sexuality is at home from those who care most about him. Discuss it. I'm not saying discuss styles and stuff. I'm saying let the child know. Let that little girl know. No one should touch them in the chest. Let that little boy know. No one should touch them in the groin in a wrong manner. What is wrong? They tell them, please, let's as parents, let's tell them that indeed sex was given by God to moms and dad, and that it's good. Yes, you heard me right. It is good. It is not wrong. Because what happens, as a pastor who officiates weddings, I work with young people who tell me, Pasi, how is it going to be? Because they've kept themselves pure. They've kept themselves waiting for that one person. And then, if you've said it is bad, then you wed them and then you say, now it is good. How do they transition? Remember, our children are on online streets that you and I have no idea about. So number 2, remember number 1, deal with your own insecurities. Yes, we were told that it's bad. Start changing that narrative and saying it is a good thing, but it is a good thing in marriage. And number 2, let them know that they can have confidence in talking about sex with you. Yes, parents, let's have this conversation. In the next 2 videos, I'm going to have a friend join me and we will delve more into this conversation because for very long as Christians, we've been afraid to discuss sex. We need to talk about it.